Hi, I'm Heather French Henry, the host of Heart of Gold, a monthly program whose mission is to highlight examples of what makes Louisville, Kentucky the most compassionate city in the world, as declared by Mayor Greg Fisher. This series features local nonprofit organizations of all shapes and sizes, which are working to improve the quality of life for all Louisville citizens. Thank you for joining us today, and a special thanks to WHAS-TV for generously producing this series. This segment features Senior Care Experts. Senior Care Experts' mission is to enable seniors to live healthy, comfortable, and fulfilling lives at home by being a trusted nonprofit provider of services, products, and information in Metro Louisville. They help older adults maintain their self-respect and dignity by helping them remain independent. I'm happy to be here with Senior Care Expert Executive Director Patty Dissell. Hi, Patty. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I tell you, you have such a wonderful job, and I'm sure it's not a job to you.
It is not a job.
Tell me a little bit about senior care and what your mission is and why you feel it's so important.
Well, by helping people live independently, people want to stay at home, or they want to choose where they want to age, and we believe that everybody has that right to choose. These are our oldest citizens, and some of these folks have lived in their homes for 50 years, and that's where they want to stay. So we actually we have programs and services that allow them to stay at home safely, and then that allows them to keep that self-respect and their dignity.
How important is it to your residents or to the people that you serve for them to stay at home? Is that one of the #1 wishes when they seek out senior care, is how long can I keep mom and dad home, or how long can I stay at home before I have to go into a facility?
Both.
Okay.
The parents are usually the ones saying, I want to stay home. I do not want to go to a facility. Now, not everybody can stay at home forever. There is a time that, and we'll be the first ones to say, even though it is our mission that they stay at home, but we'll be the first ones to say it's not safe anymore.
To recognize that.
And it's time for you to have more social interaction. It's time for you to be someplace where it's going to be better for you in the long run. We have a lot of the adult children that will call us and say, Mom wants to stay at home, and we want to, her wishes are to stay at home, and that's what we want to do. We help a lot of seniors that their adult children are out of state, and so they can't help mom when they're that far, or dad, or mom and dad together. So it's really important just to be able to recognize what they want to do and what their wishes are. And so if we can help them stay home, even if it's just a little bit longer, that's what we're doing.
And I'm sure there's so many individual needs as well. Tell me about some of the programs that you all offer.
Our programs are very much to the individual. We're not a cookie cutter organization by any means. We have a home delivered meals program. Our home delivered meals are prepared by chefs. They are heart healthy, low sodium. We are really the only alternative to the Metro Meals on Wheels program. The Metro Meals on Wheels, great program. But they have federal funding, and so some of their funding has been cut, and they have a waiting list because there's certain requirements for folks. Their requirement is can you pay $7 for a meal? If we have grants and donations, we can usually help if there's financial hardship. These are like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, biscuit and butter, and dessert. I mean, these are major meals.
Sounds like I need to sign up.
And I mean, they're really nice, and they have a menu, they have a choice. And so there's a volunteer that's actually taking the meal to them. This is great for the food and the nutrition, because we have found that a lot of people that are living on their own, they're eating peanut butter and crackers or a can of soup. They're not getting the right nutrition. So the food is good, but the volunteer that is knocking on the door is checking on them every day. So they're opening up the door, and our volunteers are trained to is there a change in appearance? Is there a change in behavior? Is everything okay? Have they answered the door? Our volunteers have called us and said, Mrs. Smith is not answering the door. And so we'll start calling. We'll call the next door neighbor. We'll call the daughter in Utah and say, hey, what's going on? Oh, forgot to tell you, mom's at a doctor's appointment. But that's okay. We're still checking on them. Other times, there have been life and death situations. And if that volunteer had not been knocking on that door that day, just to check on them, we may not have known.
Well, let's talk about the volunteers and the population you serve. How many volunteers do you have, and what is the size of the population that you serve?
We average, as far as our clients, we average about 1,500 clients a month. And we have about 225 to almost 250 volunteers. And there's only 5 staff. I mean, we're very small. So our volunteers are really the key. I mean, they are the heart of the organization.
How do you find volunteers? Can people call up, or you have to have specific skill sets?
Anywhere we can find them.
Okay.
We love volunteers from, we have organizations like UPS and First Capital Bank that they have a pool of people that drive the meals for us. So one person may only drive once a month, but there's a pool of people that are doing that. We have the same thing at different churches. We have folks that are retired that they want to drive. We have school teachers that actually they're driving with their special ed children. We have Harbor House, which is for disabled adults or mentally challenged adults, and they drive some of our meals. The Down syndrome. So we love having a variety of volunteers, and the volunteers really get a lot out of it.
Tell us a little bit about your food drives.
The food drives we have typically 3 times a year. We do have people that cannot afford $7 a meal. With even all of our services, when volunteers go in the door, I mean, they let us know if they're in dire straits. I mean, they're opening up the pantry and the refrigerator and there's no food. So we actually keep kind of a running list, and we collect non-perishable foods. We collect toiletries and paper towels and toilet paper and blankets and dog food and cat food, because for an older adult, having an animal is not a luxury, it's a companion. So we have found that people are feeding their food to their animals. So we will collect cat food and dog food as well as all this food, and then we're taking food to these people 3 times a year. We partner with Dare to Care, so we're not in competition by any means. But we have some folks that they're not able to go to Dare to Care because they're homebound. So Dare to Care has actually supplied us with some additional food, and we've taken it. We're not a pantry, but we help people at least 3 times a year with some serious amount of food.
Wow.
Yeah, which really helps. And then we have, cash donations that we'll go and buy the milk and the
Sure.
eggs and cheese and, that sort of thing.
Tell me real quick about Westport Seniors.
Westport Seniors is really fun. It's once a month. We do it at the church. It's the Westport Road Christian Church right there by the ramp of the Watterson Expressway. We welcome everyone. And it is $5 for lunch. We have sponsors that come in and, talk to us. And we might play bingo. We might have musical entertainment. We might have somebody singing. I mean, we just have a really good time. And it really provides nice socialization for folks. And all we ask is that anybody that comes, that they're able to feed themselves, and they're welcome. Everybody can come. We love it.
And so in order to get involved or to find out more about the program, I'm sure on your website you
Yes.
have all of this listed, and it's www.sr, as in senior,
Yes.
srcareexperts.org.
Yes.
And you're willing to take volunteers,
Absolutely.
donations, cash donations, and also how people can find out how to get their loved ones involved in the program, correct?
Yes, and we have the meals, we have transportation, we have non-medical home care, we have the Lifeline. We have an array of services. So especially when adult children are concerned and they don't know where to turn, we can kind of help them walk through that maze and really be that first call for them. And if it's not under our umbrella, we're so connected to the community, we're going to find somebody that can help them.
Certainly, because care and compassion, of course, are part
Absolutely.
of the mayor's Compassionate Louisville, and you
Yes.
certainly fit that quite well. And networking resources, as I understand, in our community
Absolutely.
is extremely important. So thank you for all that you do. And for Senior Care Experts, to find out more, do log on to www.srcareexperts.org. Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to find out more about Compassionate Louisville, join us at www.compassionatelouisville.org. I'm Heather French Henry, and thank you for joining us for Heart of Gold.